What up, Alpha Team? It's DJ AlphaTyler back again with another reaction. Y'all know what today is. Today is Wildcard Wednesday. Around here, we do second, third, fourth, fifth chances, all that good stuff. We also hit up new content, different types of content. We come back to things y'all wasn't feeling, things I wasn't feeling, all that good stuff. And that's what we're here for today. We got a couple of second chances, a first time. I mean, we just kind of going all around. But first, I wanted to open up with this because YouTube recommended it to me. I guess because we checked out Angry Drill Sergeant before, Angry Cops, whatever. But it's anti-military YouTuber versus Angry Drill Sergeant. Now, I don't know who the YouTuber is in question in this video. I'm not familiar with that, you know? But I know Angry Cops pretty well, and I know we about to see something funny when they going at it. Let's go ahead and jump on into it, but before we do, y'all know I got one thing I gotta say. Alright, we coming up on 10,000 subscribers. If y'all like the content on the channel, haven't subscribed already, go ahead, go down, join the Alpha Team by hitting that subscribe button and ding the notification bell if you want to get on the notification squad as well. That way you can always know when I got some new content dropping. That's all I gotta say going into it. Let's go ahead, check out Angry Cops right here with anti-military YouTuber versus Angry Drill Sergeant. I'm excited. They're gonna be getting in his Drill Sergeant bag. Y'all know he's gonna have something to say. Let's get it.
Looks like you now have to admit that I am a U.S. veteran, and maybe get over whatever personal problems you have with me and have the decency to thank me for my service. Thank me for my service. Thank me for my service.
Wait, what? Okay, so I'm gonna need some context here because this guy's supposedly anti-military, but he's talking about being a veteran right here. I'm gonna back that up a little bit. What are we talking about?
This looks like you now have to admit that I am a U.S. veteran, and maybe get over whatever personal problems you have with me and have the decency to thank me for my service. Thank me for my service. Thank me for my service.
Yo, shout out though. Dude's got the same lots that I have in my ceiling right here.
I got a better idea. How about I thank you for your cervix? Because I'm about to rope off some brain cells inside you.
The most common nightmare I have is I wake up and I'm still in the military.
Your biggest nightmare is being in the military? Mine too, bro. It keeps me awake at night to have dummies like you think they can get into my army.
There were other...
Yo, that drill sergeant thing, man, going back. Oh, you getting in my army! My army! Everything's mine, man. Everything's theirs, rather. Hey, man. That's where it's at.
Be awake at night to have dummies like you think they can get into my army.
There were other things that factored in that strongly hurt my morale. Day one, my wingman in basic training was a drug dealer. I thought this was a great opportunity, but instead, my tax dollars are going to pay this guy's salary.
Are you seriously upset right now that a dude is gonna try and restart his life the right way and he happens to be next to you?
I was like, wow.
Okay, hang on. Because I was thinking dude was saying like he was an active drug dealer. As long as he ain't actively dealing drugs, man, hey. Okay, so we got to talk about this anti-military YouTuber right here with oddly feminine eyes. You know what I mean? This guy right here, I mean, let's be real. I don't know how many of my subscribers have been in the military. Most of y'all know that I was. And so, I mean, going back, you know, thinking about this day one stuff, let me tell y'all about my day one wingman. Even though it wasn't a wingman back then, it was just, you know, he was my bunkmate. But day one, I show up, right? Guy that was my bunkmate, he's sitting here drawing a picture of a candle because he could have a notepad, and it was like that hour or whatever in the evening where we could reflect or whatever. I don't remember what it was, man. It's been a minute. But dude's sitting here drawing like a candle, right? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And we start talking a little bit. Dude was in the Russian military before. And, you know, I asked him what he thinks so far. And he's like, this is nothing. He's like, this is bullshit. He's like, you know, in Russian military, you f up, they shoot you. Here, they yell, they make you do push-ups. He's like, this is nothing. So, you know, you get all walks of life when you get in that situation. But dude, you know, I'm with old Sarge here, man. You can't be knocking on somebody because they used to sell drugs and now they're trying to fix their life.
Are going to pay this guy's salary.
Are you seriously upset right now that a dude is gonna try and restart his life the right way and he happens to be next to you?
I was like, wow, we're supposed to be honorable.
You don't come in honorable. You earn and are taught honor, loyalty, duty, courage, respect.
They literally made a guy who was going to jail the equivalent of me. The same guy. They're like, you and you're the same.
You know why you're treated the same? It's because you're both equally pieces of trash. Too darn stupid to know how to fix your freaking uniform in the morning, shave, or make your bed. Simple things like that make you go crazy, make you go insane in the membrane because you're too darn stupid to know how to tie your boots and change them out every other day. Oh.
Hey, facts, man. Like, that right there, man. When you come in, you got to realize it don't matter what walk of life you come from. You at the bottom of the barrel. Anybody thinking about joining the military, take notes. Day 1, week 1, week 5, week 10, basic training, man. You ain't jack. Whoever you were, whatever family you came from, whatever your family had, whatever you had, none of that matters anymore. It don't matter. The janitor and the millionaire's son, y'all gonna be the same day 1 all through that basic training. Well, the fact is, when you come into it, the point is to break you down, man. You ain't supposed to feel like a human for a while. You're supposed to learn how to be a robot because they're teaching you muscle memory. They're teaching you how to keep the people beside you alive when everything really hits the fan. You know what I mean? I remember day 1, man, and I had a good relationship with my recruiter going in. You know, he was telling me, he taught me all the regs and everything, so I get in there. Day 1, you know, before I even went, I got a haircut, I shaved everything off. Day 1, I get there, we go up, you know, we do all of our processing, go to sleep. Day 2, wake up in the morning, and I thought, you know, that earlobe right there, I was going to go ahead and shave right to the regs so nobody could say anything to me. Because I was going to make it through 10 weeks of basic training without ever being yelled at and focused on, right? Nah, man. Morning 2, I get up. Hey, Elvis, what are you doing? I'm like, going to formation drill, sergeant. You know, put your hands behind your back and all that stuff because that's what you do. And he's like, I thought you were supposed to shave this morning. I'm like, man, this is like the cleanest shave I've ever got in my life. I'm thinking in my head, like, what have I done wrong? Well, you know, the regulation says you need to be shaving up to here, that bottom opening of your ear, right? And I was slick. It was like straight across. No. This was morning 2 in basic training, right? That means I was supposed to be shaving all the way up. You know what I mean? Man, all it is there for is to break you down. And it's people like this kid who don't make it through, right?
In the membrane because you're too darn stupid to know how to tie your boots and change them out every other day. Oh, and what makes you such hot shit? The fact that you led drama club for 2 years at your local high school? I played the male lead in Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstar. Maybe instead of judging Daniel Day drug dealer, your wingman, you could pick up a little bit of street smarts from him. I bet you that guy could scam you out of your own shoes. Big ups to my dope boy airmen out there, hustling to make a living.
The Air Force is not full of nothing but elites.
Elites like you, the guy who looks down at everybody and thinks
So this guy joined the Air Force. That's what we're talking about here. Okay.
that his shit don't stink.
There was one girl that I served with who got implants, and then she decided to have relations with her boss.
What are you, 5 years old? Yeah, people who work together sometimes sleep together. Oh, and you're upset that she got fake knockers? Sounds like somebody's a little jealous. Not getting any fake booby action in the barracks, huh?
And by the way, your tax dollars paid for her implants, just want to let you know.
Hell,
Actually, they paid her salary, and then she used her money, which had been given to her because of her job, which just happened to be for the government, to get something that she wanted, which is a valid, you know, way to spend your money.
fake booby action in the barracks, huh?
And by the way, your tax dollars paid for her implants, just want to let you know.
Hell yeah, they did! America! I wish they put that shit on recruiting posters. Go Army! We'll buy your titties for you. Recruiters wouldn't have half the hard time they have now. Wives and girlfriends be lining up their boyfriends to join just so they could get some of that TRICARE.
There was additionally the incident where I was in survival, evasion, resistance, escape training, but once it came to
This guy never went to SERE school. Come on now. If y'all know about SERE school, there ain't no way this guy went there.
the incident where I was in survival, evasion, resistance, escape training, but once it came to the point of us being required to kill a rabbit, skin it, and then eat the contents of its stomach.
Aww. Did you have a hard time finding food to survive with? Come on, man.
I said no.
I knew it! I got a quitter on my hands. You failed out of SERE school because you couldn't kill a bunny rabbit during a survival course? Did you not Google what SERE was? How do you think you survived, dude? A boy with a bunny rabbit. It's called the food chain, loser. That's why you're down here eating pebbles and grubs, and I'm up here eating your mom's box.
But one of his fellow airmen didn't kill the rabbit before skinning it properly.
Wait, what does this say right here? The rabbit woke up, wiggled off the hooks, and half-skinned ran around the woods screaming, "Thanks, Air Force." Well, you gotta get it first, man. Like, it's food. I'm sorry. Like, who feels sorry for this? You know what I mean? I'm sure somebody does. I know that people do. But, I mean, the fact is, like, man, if you can't accept that we have to eat animals to survive...
So it woke up and it ran around the woods screeching.
Wow, that sucks. Maybe because of that rabbit, that dude learned how to do shit right, pay attention, and take his training seriously. You know? Because future generations learning from him might have to use that training when they're behind enemy lines.
That's true, man. It's a sad thing. And I bet seeing that, if he got sad seeing that, I bet next time he killed it the first time.
Holy shit!
Now, I didn't go on that trip, so my nightmares have nothing to do with it. But if I did go on that trip, you can guarantee I would be shaking every other night.
I'm pretty sure John McCain didn't give two shits about a screaming bunny when he was getting his arms broken and held over his heads in a Vietnam POW camp.
One of the airmen who went on this trip came back and said, "Yo, they gave me swamp water to drink." He literally had to empty out his canteen and drink swamp water.
For anybody watching this who doesn't understand exactly what's being discussed here, SERE stands for Survive, Evade, Resist, and Escape. And that's what he went through a minute ago, you know, when he actually broke it down. SERE School is basically, though, you are treated as though you are a prisoner of war. And the purpose of the school is to prepare you, in case you ever are a prisoner of war, to mentally, you know, fortify you so that you don't just break down and start doing things I can't talk about on this channel, you know, with your captors to get loose, you know. And so, you know, how this guy's talking about it, you have to understand, when you go to SERE school, you're supposed to expect it to be a nightmare. Okay? It is supposed to scar you because it is literally intended to have you replicate the conditions if you were a prisoner of war. Now, mind you, by the time you're looking at going to SERE school, whatever the case may be, you're already in the military, okay? So we can assume that you're an adult. We can assume that you've signed up for a job that requires that you put your life at risk. X, Y, and Z factors, right? You know what this entails, and you are okay with this and ready to continue into the training. So the fact that he's acting like this, don't let this kind of shake your understanding of the situation, shake kind of how you're interpreting the situation. This is a school, everyone knows what it is before they get there. And lots of people really want to go there because it is actually a very good training. Now, he hasn't gotten to the darker parts. I can only assume, since there's so much of the video left, that he is going to talk about some of the worst things that happen there. That's fine. We'll see when he gets there. But I mean, you know, we're sitting right here. You're an adult in the military where people have to occasionally engage enemies in combat. All right, let that sink in. And you are upset about having to hunt, essentially, a rabbit and prepare it to eat.
Water to drink. He literally had to empty out his canteen and drink swamp water.
Oh my god, we had to drink dirty water. Boo friggity who. Bear Grylls gets high off of drinking his own piss. You could drink some dirty Texas swamp water.
I had to take a 75-pound
Bear Grylls is crazy.
bag of rocks and walk 4 miles in under an hour with it.
Is this guy gonna bitch about ruck marching? Was your backpack too heavy? Oh, drill sergeant, my backpack's too heavy. It's 4 fucking miles, guy. Suck it up.
Because after the first, I don't know, 40 feet, you start to really feel it. And then you kind of just have to shuffle your feet because it's nuts that you have to drag it that far.
And then you get over it because you're grown and you do PT.
No shit, you get 40 feet into it and now you're gonna start bitching? Tell me more about your delusions of grandeur on how great you are when you came in and how poor and shitty everybody else was.
Anyway, while I was doing this in training, I was getting chest pain.
Yeah, it's called tiny heart syndrome, guy. It's part of quitter's disease.
So I just ignored my chest pains. And then about a week after I flunked out because I refused to kill the rabbit, you know what happened? Another airman literally had a heart attack doing the same thing I did.
Holy shit, sometimes people get hurt in training. I guess we better give up. Just raise your hands like the French in World War II and let people bum rush us from behind. I got a headache. I guess I gotta go give up now.
And when they
Listen, it's about physical fitness. It's about being at that level where you can withstand these things. You know what? It's like the drill sergeant's saying here, man. Like, at the end of the day, people gonna get hurt in training. Guess what? Not everybody is capable of joining the military. Not everybody is fit enough, even if they do join, to make it through any sort of training. But I mean, especially, we're talking about SERE school. We're talking about a very advanced school. Nah, man, come on.
Rush us from behind. I got a headache. I guess I gotta go give up now.
And when they proceeded to writing me up anyway, the
lower you are on the right is the higher ranking you are. It's not about to disobey the orders of Lieutenant Colonel. Okay, well, a Lieutenant Colonel is a battalion commander, at least in the Army. I'm speaking from the Army. I wasn't in the Air Force. It is going to be a battalion commander, and you know, it's not a low rank at all. You definitely want to listen to him, but you know, you also have only taken an oath to obey moral and just orders. And so, I mean, if there's something immoral or unjust, I mean, there are channels and methods to get around that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that was the case here. I haven't heard what he's saying about disobeying orders or whatever, but I'm assuming he was told to do something very rational.
Got a headache. I guess I gotta go give up now.
And when they proceeded to writing me up anyway, I took off all my clothes. I took off all my clothes. I took off all my clothes.
Suicidal thoughts and actions in basic training are a cancer. Let me give you a real story about suicide in basic training. Had one private, he was a turd. He didn't want to be there, so he feigned suicidal thoughts, hung his dog tags up in the bathroom, and just sat there in front of him, on the toilet, just comatose, not looking or responding to anybody. So, okay, alright guy, all of a sudden you're in a coma. You were talking and joking the other day, but you know what? Let's take it seriously. We'll get you out of here since you don't want to be here. He sticks around in one of those holdover groups, and guess what? All the people that want to quit or are second guessing their decisions get that cancer shoved into them. And all of a sudden I got half a dozen dopes sitting down with dog tags over their head. I bet
there's always that one guy that couldn't make it through the last class, gets rolled over into this one, and comes in. They seem like they're more senior, okay? And so everybody flocks around them, but they're just spreading negativity.
And all of a sudden I got half a dozen dopes sitting down with dog tags over their head. I bet my military career that drug dealing dope boy that you didn't like so much was crushing training while you're sitting there moping around.
And I just assumed that there's no way that the cadre would set me up with an exercise that would end my life, so I just ignored my chest pains.
The more and more I listen to this guy, his video isn't so much about, oh, I don't like the Army. It's more about him trying to convince other people, the lie that he's trying to convince himself, that he was a good guy, and that the military's bad, and that he would have made it, but all these bad things happened to him. Oh, perseverance. If only it was a good trait.
You are literally on probation the moment you enter the military. You're obviously on probation because it's like you just got out of jail and there's things that you'll go to jail for that normal people won't go to jail for.
Yeah.
That's called UCMJ. So I am a little bit confused. I picked up on this a second ago while Sarge was talking. Because are we talking about basic training or are we talking about SERE school? Because he's talking about both. And I'm not that familiar with initial entry for the Air Force. Is SERE school rolled into basic training for the Air Force in some way at all? Because thinking back on my time in the military, there were a lot of airmen that I would talk to that had been to SERE school. A disproportionately high number of airmen compared to, you know, those in the Army, those in the Marine Corps. And so I am wondering if that's kind of rolled into their basic training in some way. But I'm also wondering, you know, if he's bouncing between both, Did this guy even actually make it to the point of going to SERE school?
You just got out of jail, and there's things that you'll go to jail for that normal people won't go to jail for.
Yeah, except you don't volunteer for probation. You voluntarily sign on the dotted line to Uncle Sam when you sign up to join the military, and guess what? There's some rules you gotta follow. Like, don't do drugs, don't give up, don't say, hey, you know what, I think I've had enough, I'm gonna go strip my fucking clothes off and run around and not listen to people because I feel like I'm better than everyone.
Like, there was this guy who's...
Translation, they put me, a guy who can't cover your back, as the guy who is supposed to cover your back. They screwed over everyone, including airmen willing to kill. Okay, so I'm assuming he's about to tell a story about being put in a formation, in a position where he was supposed to cover someone, and because he can't do that, they were wrong. Come, that is a beautiful victim mentality, is what that is. But that is also the definition of ignorance. You all in the military, everyone has to learn, cover your sector, take care of the people beside you.
Run around and not listen to people because I feel like I'm better than everyone.
Like, there was this guy who threatened to punch me in the face. It was my immediate supervisor. And why did he threaten to punch me in the face? Because he literally didn't like me.
I don't like you. I bet your wingman didn't like you. And I bet everybody in your class didn't like you either. And it's not for some weird philosophical difference or mental breakdown. It's because you think you're better than everybody else. It's because you talk down to others. It's because you feign these big grandiose burdens that are holding you back when it's just yourself.
For the record, I don't like him either.
Because you feign these big grandiose burdens that are holding you back when it's just yourself. It's because you're a quitter. And that's why people don't like you. Because nobody likes a quitter. Especially quitters who blame everybody else for their problems. I bet you're the type of guy that would tell people to say thank you for your service. Oh wait, you already have.
Thank me for my service. Thank me for my service. Thank me for my service.
Alright, so that was anti-military YouTube versus angry drill sergeant. Look, man, guys like that get on my nerves because here's a fact. If y'all have been around the channel for a minute, y'all know that I was in the military, especially because when I react to angry cops, you know, I get an urge to discuss it. Occasionally something will come up in one of my other videos and we'll end up talking or telling a story or something like that. But I've actually seen people in the comments on those videos where that happens, you know, point out, you know, 500-600 videos deep, hey, I didn't know you were in the military. Hey, that's because I have no need to constantly pull that up, right? We're in a different life right now. I'm at a different phase of my life. Am I proud of that time? Absolutely. If I went back, I would do it exactly the same way. But I'm saying, like, why should I? If I'm not doing anything right now that I can live off of and be happy with and proud of, why would I lean back on that time? You know what I mean? If that is the last thing that I did that I can truly be proud of, that is a very sad reflection of the life that I'm living. This guy right here, I'm not saying that that's where he's at because I don't really know kind of where he's at. He definitely wants some recognition for his time in the military. But, you know, I guess he's trying to take this as a SJWs, I've been on the other side. This is what I encountered. This is what you will see. I don't know. This right here is ignorant to me, though. As always, you know, this guy right here did a fantastic job putting this video together. It was hilarious. You know, there were lots of points, you know, really throughout that just the original YouTuber is just ignorant about at the end of the day. And hopefully none of you guys saw his video originally, fell for it, whatever the case may be. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm not a fan at all. That's all I got, though. I'm DJ AlphaTyler. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a little bit. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're taking care of yourselves. And I will catch you next time.